everybody, and welcome to Amaro's Intuitive Studio on YouTube. If you've been here before, then you have an idea of maybe what's about to happen. We're going to do a quick is a lie. That's entirely false. It will not be quick. This is going to be a session that is for everybody, me, you, your mom, and this is for this Pisces season 2021. That's February through March, so give or take a little bit. We're not going to get too specific, but basically mid-February to mid-March, Pisces season. And this is kind of what the energy has in store for you. So what we're going to start with, this is called Astrodice, and we are going to see what energy is available for you to harness, or at least that you should be aware of in this season. North node. This is a sign of the Zodiac. That's Aquarius. And then this is the 5th house. And what it's going to do is I'm going to pull out these cards called karma cards, and it's going to give you a message. So these are the karma cards. And the first thing I'm going to do is bring these out here. We can see them a little bit more clearly. So here is the message. You get 3 different messages. Just go with what you feel, or even write these down, sit with them for later to see which one kind of plays out for you this season. Make sure I get it into the camera. All right, there will be genius to experiment with the power of love. Success from the discoveries of investment gambles and other games. Benefit resulting from the eccentricity of your creations. I'm feeling that already. I don't know about you are, but I definitely am feeling that energy this month. If you've been here before, we've not done one of these yet. These are brand new, but this channel is also brand new. So we will be doing these every month. So if your sign is not Pisces, there was a birthday session released for Pisces as well. So if you are a Pisces, please check that out. But if you're not a Pisces, know that one of these is coming for you every month. Now, this is not the one that came up. It's actually up here. Okay. I'm not going to play with that in the camera. All right, let's get started because we have a lot to go over. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to grab my first oracle deck. This is called the Beyond Lemuria Oracle, and it's really beautiful. And what we're going to do is start with one deck of cards, and then I have a bunch more, and we're going to keep deepening our understanding of what's going on. So this first one here is going to represent maybe where you have lost your magic or power in the past. Where have you let yourself disconnect, essentially, from the truth of who you are, what success really is to you. What does success really mean to us? And this is what, remember, this is a general energy. This is for everybody, all signs. Anybody who is here, this is who the message is for. So where have we let go? You know, where did we, maybe that definition of success for us personally, where did we lose that and let someone else kind of take it? The violet flame, transformation. So I'm going to take both of those. The Pisces reading as well. There were a few that came out like this, and we're just going to see where that takes us. Okay, I don't know what the violet flame means. So we're going to see. All right, I'm going to keep going with this for Aquarius. Sorry, this part right here about genius, discoveries, eccentricity, sign of Aquarius. This here is your current path. Now, actually, I don't know if you know this or not, but where we are in time, actually when I'm recording this, it's Aquarius season, but we have a lot of transits and planets in Aquarius right now. That's something that you have to look into. There's our car. There are quite a few transits going through the sign of Aquarius right now. I can't tell you exactly what that means. There's a lot going on in this sign in the sky as of right now with constellations. I am an intermediate astrology student, so I am getting there. I know a bit, but not quite to that level yet. All right, Aquarius evolution, and that it couldn't be more Aquarian, because look at even here. Aquarius is the sign of technology. The sign, you know what I mean? The science is growth. It's an air sign, and while this is like very watery, Aquarius. Have you heard of the age of Aquarius? That's where we move into this evolution of harmony. We evolve from this I don't know, what is it? Splintered. Splintered is a word that makes sense to me. We evolve from this splintered energy into something else. That's what the age of Aquarius is. And there's a lot of activity in Aquarius. So look into it and see what is meaningful to you at this time. Again, we are mid February to mid-March for the Pisces season. And that's what we're talking about here, the Pisces season. Now, here we're talking about the 5th house, the power of love, your creation, the creative expression that comes from your heart place, okay? And this is your potential in this season. Water, the overflow. The overflow. So here we're talking about you have to be full. You have to be filled in order to pour out onto others, right? We need to recognize that. I want to take a peek at the violet flame. See what that means. All right, so success or benefit, it says your psychic toolkit, recentering practices, deepening your energetic awareness, clearing your aura, healthy energetic boundaries, protection, removing old trauma from your field, maintaining a high vibration, rebalancing after times of raised frequency. So like, you know, when you feel like you're extremely passionate and you get a little manic, where you have get in that workaholic phase when you have your project going on or the creative flow is going. But more than anything, it's talking about your energetic boundaries, being connected to yourself, and knowing who you are, right? Were your boundaries not clear before? Okay? Is there trauma? I mean, we all have some sort of trauma, right? But is there something in your life that you really haven't dealt with? You maybe think that you've dealt with it. Maybe you're denying it. Maybe you're not ready. But this is going to lead you into something. And you have a gateway. Where in Pisces season is actually very psychic. So it's very interesting that come up. No matter what sign you are, you have a portal to more psychic energy this time of year. In this season, you're going to have a portal. Do you see the eye in the sky and what this person is holding? You get to choose. And the transformation is yours alone. This doesn't have to be freaky or dark or actually magical. This is all about what you believe in. What is transformation for you? What do you want to evolve into? Okay, what do you want to evolve into? You're about self-nurturing. So have you neglected yourself? Have you, okay, so let me just talk about let me read it from what it says. Self-nurturing, going within, time alone, being present with your feelings, cocooning before the butterfly, I like that. Being gentle on yourself, or angelic embrace. So have you neglected yourself in the venture of something else? Whether that's raising a family, whether that's a career, like a job that's just draining you, that could be sickness, it doesn't really matter. There's some sort of chaos that's been held deep within you that you need to spend time alone with, and you will benefit very, very greatly from that. Okay? So don't be afraid to go within and just sit with yourself in the quiet. You don't need to fill this space all the time with others and others' voices. You don't need to bounce everything off of other people. You can trust yourself. And there will be great, great benefit from learning to trust yourself. Evolution, growth, overcoming challenges, gracefully riding the waves of life, expanding out a problem, flourishing in the face of change, thriving in new environments. So in this situation, it's just kind of this inner confidence that develops, and you know it. You know it's confident. You know you might be a little different than others. You know what I mean? But it is genius. Your budding eccentricities, these discoveries, other people may not have accessed this yet. And just because it may not be the norm doesn't mean that you aren't allowed to play with that energy. And then water, the overflow. We're talking about the power of love and your creative expression. That is not, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but we're talking about abundance, the power of love. We're not just talking about love. Love is an overused word, frankly. A lot of people don't use it in the way that it's meant to be used. But water means non-attachment to outcomes, the paradigm that is not lackful whatsoever. There is no scarcity for you. You are overflowing with abundance, but that's coming from your heart space. Right here. You have this here, this like ball of light, that's here. You can't really illuminate anything until you know that that's there, until you know that you have power and magic and it's in your heart space. You can share that with the world eventually, but not until you recognize your genius. You can't recognize your genius until you sit with yourself. And because eventually this path is coming from a place of love. It fulfills itself. You feel deep success. You understand your value, that you don't have to be the same as everybody else. And you have a deep, deep self-appreciation that overflows into the world effortlessly because you are not depleted. All right, the next cards are going to do a Divine Abundance Oracle. And I did tell you that this wasn't going to be quick. I do intend things to be quick, but I think the depth and the synchronicity is just worth being here and spending the time and energy for. All right, let's go down here. Divine Love. It's on the bottom there. All right, so here we're talking about the violet flame, that going inward. Let's clarify that a little bit. Boundaries, establishing boundaries so you can feel safe to transform. Let's just take the top one here. Energetic clearing. I'm not gonna, there's a lot of tough cards there. During crisis, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachment, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. Fear and attachment. Didn't we just say this is about non-attachment? That was about non-attachment. Boundaries. So during a crisis, so there might be something external to you, or maybe this is internal fear, like we're talking about a trauma that's been inside. It could be emotional reactivity. It could be coming from something that's no longer present, but it also may be something that's very real. So evaluate that truthfully with yourself. But emptying you of fear and attachments to prepare you to receive, creating space in your heart to receive what you truly want, what truly feels successful to you. Divine Flow was that one that I had there, and it says, eventually one sublime desire takes the precedence over all others, to follow the Tao, the divine flow at all costs. And here, talking about evolution, this is a soft, right? A soft transition. Water, divine flow, the overflow of love. This is a soft transition from where you are. You don't have to force anything. It's just about sitting with yourself and letting some of this fear and pain dissolve. Letting some of these old attachments dissolve. And oh my goodness, there we go. And your potential lies in healing this deep inner space. Your potential lies here, loving you deeply on the inside. It says, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. So, the power of love, the overflow, the heart space, this is the center of you. I don't know if you have kids, but if you do, you know how fragile they are. You know that look when, as an adult, you get angry and it scares your child. And you're like, why? I'm not, like, it's hard to understand but they're small and helpless. We all have emotions, but it's very, very important to be aware of how we express those and what healing ourselves deep on the inside is going to do is clear like a toxic reactivity. And it's going to bring us like this inner satisfaction that just pours out. It pours out and you can't stop it. And you can't stop the creativity. You can't stop the love. You can't, because it just is part of you, because you're connected to you. You know who you are, and that's when, look at this though. Didn't I tell you before this actually came out? This was out before, that it popped out. Divine love. When you offer everything, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I keep popping these like right across the camera. When you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirit. Detachment. Look at, this is the second time we've gotten this message right here. Emptying you of fear and attachments. You offer everything with detachment. The love affair, the love is inside. Maybe a spirit is external to you in some ways. Maybe it surrounds you. To me, when I think of spirit or source, I think that, look at this, now love. See, divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation. Only love itself. The power of love. Isn't that ridiculous? It's ridiculous. Look at this. Stay, I'm not, okay, I didn't intend to pull out this many cards out. I just want you to know that. Stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come than can be handled in each moment. We're talking about right now, and don't get too far ahead of the flow. If you don't have the overflow yet, you have to learn to water what's inside. Look at this as a child in the inside of a flower. Inside of a flower, you have to water your own flower. Look at, here's a flower too. You have to, I mean, I guess these quite a few have flowers on them, but still, flower, again, we're talking about watering that flower, that inner child that is your flower. I mean, this is, man, I don't know if you believe in this or not, but I don't know how you couldn't. Me personally, this is what got me. This energy is just so intense. It's just so clear sometimes. It was able to cut through things that I wasn't able to perceive on my own. And so maybe that's doing that for you too. The next deck that I'm bringing out is the Tattoo Tarot. All right, I'm going to continue to deepen this further. Ooh, all right, so, oh my goodness, okay. Nine of Swords. And this is like feeling bound, okay? There's something, I don't know if it's a current crisis or if it's a past crisis, but there's a feeling that has been binding you, old trauma. Something's been binding you, making you feel stuck. And really, the thing is you're holding the rope. Like, you may have been tied up, but you know how to get out of this. You're aware now. You are aware of what it is or where you need to start. If nothing else, you start in your heart space. If you really, truly, and honest to God feel like you have no idea what I'm talking about, look at how many times we see love, like the heart space referenced, okay? She's holding her heart. There's a heart there, the power of love. So if anything, if you don't know how to feel satisfied, if you don't know what genius or what you have to offer, you need to start by sitting with you and nurturing your own inner child, your own heart space and love. That you're bound somewhere, or at least you have been in the past. What is that? Release yourself. Let it clear from you so you can see clearly, so you can feel clearly what is satisfaction to you. All right, so your current path, I know these are getting a little bit wild. Your current path, those actually go with these, and those kind of go in the middle. It's a little better, for me anyway. All right, so the current path. Ooh. Sorry, these aren't, I don't do these upside down. So your current path, you have a lot of choices, and it might be a little bit confusing. You have a lot of opportunities, but you just don't know which ones that are trustworthy, essentially. Like, you have a lot of ideas. I think that's more kind of where we're going with this. You have a lot of ideas. You know that you have some sort of, creative genius or power, talent, skill, express, like something that you offer. It could be your own creativity, your own love, the way that you nurture children. It could be anything that you have to offer. You know what it is, but it's either there's too many ideas that you don't know where to start. There's some sort of self-doubt. You're having trouble narrowing your focus. Like, your energy may be splintered all over. You may not know which paths are trustworthy or not. There are a lot of different ways to kind of look at it, but you do have a lot of choices at your fingertips. Some of them, there is risk. There is risk, but there is reward. And if you stay present right now in your creative flow, like, trust yourself, trust your inner child. Like, when we talk about like creativity, what do you think about? What do we throw away when we grow up often is that creativity, the time that we give ourselves to spend being like dancing and singing. We start to inhibit ourselves. And while that's necessary in some regards, don't you sometimes just envy the people who don't care? They just act and go and move and flow, right? They flow and they dance and they sing. And don't you, I mean, maybe you think that's foolish. Maybe you're skeptical. But the child is that freedom. As the child, we fall down a bunch. We get bumps and bruises, scrapes, sometimes broken bones. But the child is like this free spirit. And it's time to tap back into that. Trust that no matter, even if you test a few wrong opportunities, that if you come back to yourself, you can trust what's real and what's not. You can trust that if it's real for you, that it's true to you, that it will bring you true satisfaction. And the benefit of that, connecting to yourself, freeing yourself from this space, just being willing to take the opportunities in the present moment, that will shift you. You will feel and understand what this the enthusiasm again. You can bring that enthusiasm back, and you can bring that into the world, into your creations, into your games. We're talking about playing. Okay, there are risks. There are risks, but also great rewards. And ultimately, when we take the risks, we are able to collaborate, right? We're able to collaborate with others in a way that not only brings us satisfaction, like in our quiet, right? We feel this inner heart satisfaction. We're able to share it, the overflow, right? We're able to bring it into our communities without having to worry. Doesn't it feel nice when you can just be generous and not worry about what you're receiving directly in return? Doesn't it feel so good to just be able to give purely from your heart? And especially when you give and they have no idea where it came from. Sometimes you just get to walk away almost giggling. When you go to lunch with someone that you love, a close friend or a family member, and they run to the bathroom and you pay the bill, or you tip the wait staff extra, the service staff, anywhere, tip them, please. But also, when you're able to feel that abundant, that you can give extra, like above and beyond what's the baseline, like you're just so generous, not because you're showing off. It's because you have this, like, what it feels like to have a child who receives a gift. How that lights you up inside. You remember what it's like to water yourself, and you know what it's like to collaborate and be generous and have ideas flowing. Everything is flowing. It flows together. Then you realize your genius, especially when others not get on board, okay, but when you realize others are working in a similar direction to you, and you're able to work alongside them and fuel the energy and share that, it's a really beautiful experience. And it brings so much eagerness, and it starts to bring a sense of satisfaction that does not result from attention or money. They can be great things, tools. Money is a great thing to have for security. We all need some, but is that ever going to fulfill you completely? Never. Never, ever, ever. Same thing with, having views or whatever. Like, it can get really easy to want people, to want people to see stuff. And I made that intention right away that I was never going to do that in this place. In this space, this is about my creativity and letting that out into the world. This literally is from my own heart center. This literally, it came from my own healing. So I feel this deeply. This is this evolution and how everything comes around. It feels so beautiful to just express and express and express. And I probably have more room than a lot of people because I'm working privately, in this way, to dance and sing and be loud and stuff. You can't necessarily always do that wherever you work, but make sure you have space. Make sure you have space where you can do whatever makes you feel alive in your soul. It's probably going to be something that doesn't seem to produce a result. Produce. Everything's about production. Maybe success is not what the world paints it to be. And maybe it's time, right, for you to realize that by blossoming from the inside, you're going to realize what true success is. You'll realize that and you will even find that benefit resulting from the eccentricity of your creations. You're going to find other people who think that you are a badass, who think you're awesome, and who never would have been able to connect with you if you were pretending to be something that you're not. Let that go. Clear it. Let that clear. That old version of you. You are surrounded in love. Butterflies, actually, for me, is a big thing when I was grieving. I've had experiences with butterflies. Divine love to me is, that's how I experience it the most clearly, is butterflies in the world, on the earth, you know. So we're clearing this. I'm making that intention right now for all of us. We're going to clear this. So I'm going to actually lay down. This is my magic wand. Can you see it? There it is. In the light. It's so pretty. This is actually, I carry this in my pocket, especially during Mercury retrograde. This thing. Whew. So we're going to clear this. This is a clearing stone. We're just going to let it go. And I'm going to make that intention for me. And in this space, if you're here and you're feeling connected here, I'm making that intention for us both. All right, the next deck we're going to use to deepen this is called the Crystal Visions Tarot. All right, so let's look at, again, here, where have we may have lost our magic in the past, right? Where have we been feeling confined? Let's talk just a little bit more about that. Where do we feel confined? To the Unknown card. Okay. Sometimes I just like to make sure that things aren't going haywire, because these get a little bit wild. All right. I love jumpers. 8 of Wands. So that means that we're making this choice. We're making it clearly, and we're making it now. Okay? Like I said, the intention has been set. I set the intention in this space for us all. This is going to happen quickly. This shift, this transformation, you're not going to be able to go back once you start this. That's scary, I know. I know that can be scary, but you don't want to. Once you feel the divine set, look at, I told you the Unknown card was on the bottom. There it is again. You don't know what's going to happen, and that can be terrifying. The unknown is terrifying, but I promise you, man, knowing yourself is better than pretending to be something for other people. There's another jumper. All right. This is how I love to receive cards. I love when they're excited to pop out. All right, so your current path, Page of Pentacles. This could involve someone coming in, a new opportunity coming in. I like to think of Pentacles kind of as resources. This could be like your budding enterprise, something that you're starting. This is just there's like a fresh perspective, but this is material. This is something that is going to manifest in real life. So one of these opportunities right here is going to pan out, right? Is genius. This is a brand new thing, and you have to trust yourself. You have to be willing to make mistakes and not beat yourself up over it. You have to not, okay, didn't I just say the Unknown card was on the bottom? And there it is again. You gotta remember, I'm shuffling. So look at, and I just shuffling, and there it is again. All right, I'm gonna actually you guys, every time I shuffle, I'm actually actively trying to put it on top of the deck every single time, and it's not going there. All right. Whew. Anyway, so now in our potential, we have 2 major arcana cards. And if you're not familiar with tarot at all, these cards with numbers on them, essentially, are a little bit different than these cards with numbers on them. These cards are major arcana, and the way that I see oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The way that I see these is that they are more like the divine plan, the big picture. And this is going to be requiring you listen, that you tune into your source, whether that's okay, when I think of source, and I think I was mentioning this earlier, never finished the thought. When I think of source, I think inside me, it's the air I breathe in, it's the sky that I look at, it's the earth I stand on. Source is everywhere to me. I cannot escape divine love. I am immersed in it all the time. And if anything, I am drowning in it. Okay? Because I haven't learned that I can stand up. You know what I mean? Like, I can stand up. It's nothing to be afraid of. Having too much doesn't mean that you drown in it. that means that you get to give some away. So it's time to exercise our own judgment and be willing to make mistakes. The divine plan is beautiful, and it's not something that you have to be afraid of, but you do have to be willing to be resilient. You do have to be willing. Another card fell out. I was about to put the deck away. You have to be, another card fell out actually, and I'm gonna put the deck away. You have to be willing to be resilient in this situation, and what it's going to require is that you find balance. You have to find the balance. Like, you don't really know yet. You're kind of like juggling these cups. You haven't found your balance yet, but it's coming. It comes from inside. Your balance comes. If you keep seeking it on the outside, it's gonna disappoint you every single time. Every single time, it's gonna end up, you're gonna lose yourself. And you're going to feel stuck. But that's not the intention. You're supposed to feel triumphant, right? But that's a choice. Standing tall is a choice. Triumph is a choice. It's the difference between choosing to hold on to like a victim mentality. I do not mean in any way to demean anything that's happened to anyone. Any trauma or any experience that you have had that has harmed you, I believe you. I cannot say or even express what that, you know what I mean, that the level of harm, but they're not comparative. Like, we can't say this person is this damaged and this person is this. There's no chart that we get to weigh ourselves out on. So it's all about us and how we feel and how deep we feel it. The deeper that we allow ourselves, and I know that it's not all at once, but the deeper we allow ourselves to feel the pain and almost like hard and fast, see this fast? If you let yourself really hit the depth, but then you're able to bounce back, okay? Clear it, but don't get stuck there. Let yourself be lifted back up by connecting back into your heart space. You connect back into the divine flow. You don't take mistakes so harshly. You just realign and rebalance. So if you make a mistake along this path, you know that, oh, I just need to pop back into the flow. You know what, I knew that didn't feel quite right. And the next time I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to trust that even if I need to stand alone, that I can. I'm not going to worry about that. Because what is happening here is I'm learning to really love and honor myself and what I have to offer the world, and I will feel satisfaction that I've never experienced before. I don't know that this is going to play all the way out in this month, but this portal is open to you. If you want this, this is available to you. This energy is ready for you to harness it, grab it. Be aware that it's here, and if you let it, I'm not going to say it passes by completely, but because the awareness of it, it just may be harder in another season to grab a hold of it, to recognize it, to feel it, to sit with it. You might be busier. Maybe you feel that like that right now. Maybe you're going to watch this in the future and it's not even Pisces season 2021 anymore, but maybe that is the time that this message aligns for you. You're finally able to harness the Pisces energy of this year and just take it with you. It doesn't maybe have to be in this season. It can be whenever you are ready. In some ways, time is illusory. You know, it's both an illusion and elusive, because we don't really know. Like, out in the world, we are accountable to things. Inside of us, it feels different. It feels different to sit with yourself. Time passes differently. So this is just hold your head high and know that you're doing whatever you need to do to not feel bound and stuck anymore. Because that's all you want to clear. Hold your head high and know that this is a choice. You make choices. This is meant for you. You are meant to give your creativity and your love into the world. You are meant to offer your genius in the world. You are meant to, and you deserve, just by being here, by existing, you deserve to feel satisfaction deep in your soul. I don't know what that is for you, but you're allowed to have it whenever this journey starts and however it plays out, however long it takes. It's all about your choices. All right, so Mindful messages. This is a neat little, I like to say a mini deck, but it's been playing out really neat every time I use this deck. So I'm excited. So let's first look here at what's gonna we're breaking free, we're clearing past trauma, we're reconnecting inside with our sense of divine love, and that starts in our heart space, right? And it brings deep, deep satisfaction. All right. We have 2 cards that came out. First one says play. Oops. I am completely engaged in what I do in the here and now. I call it play instead of work. I am deeply fulfilled by all that I do. Personal journey. I follow what feels right within me without needing validation from others. We are each on our own journey, and mine does not need to look like anyone else's. My enjoyment and satisfaction is validation enough. Wow. Woo! My enjoyment and satisfaction is validation enough to go on this journey. Absolutely it is. And playing. Okay, we're not talking about just play. We're talking about a life of not just work that feels like play. I'm not saying that's the right path for everybody, but a life that immerses, like there's a rhythm with work and play, and they work together. Okay, the work is not separate from play. It's not this seriousness that has to invade everything. You're going to start to be more playful and lighthearted with all the choices that you make, and you're going to feel the flow. It's a softening. Okay, it's a softening. And you're going to be fulfilled, completely fulfilled in all that you do. All right, what our potential. Playful, like this page, a page is a playful energy. It's childlike energy. So we're talking again, inner child. Tap into that creativity of the inner child. Play with your inner child. Let your inner child have a voice in this, and don't get so stuck on being serious or what you think others want from you, what you think that you owe. Oh, goodness. Self-appreciation. I will find a moment throughout the day that I can dedicate to myself. Find a comfortable space, bring a pen and paper. I will write a letter of appreciation to myself where I will pour love into who I am and all that I do. Remember, we just talked about I am deeply fulfilled by all that I do. Self-appreciation, the inner child, inner love that blossoms from your heart space. This is time. It's meant for you. You are meant to receive this message, and you are meant to follow through on it. You are meant to receive this, and you are meant to act into it. All that means is that this journey is going to get a lot lighter for you. It's not going to feel so heavy anymore, because you know that this is a whole journey. Your enjoyment and satisfaction are enough, okay? And you're going to feel enjoyment and satisfaction in places you never expected to, because you're going to start to be lighter with the energy of the world, and you're going to start to play. You're going to start to play in it. And you're going to start to understand that even in the difficult times, even in sadness, that growth comes. There are benefits from all of our experiences and all of our emotions. Oh man, you're gonna love this in a second. Before I get to the very last message, and you may or may not read it, but this is going to be advice. And before I get to that, I want to say thank you to my friend from high school, from long ago, one of my favorite Pisces artists. and she helped me gather some inspiration and put together some ideas for this. There's a link below to her Etsy store. She is a wonderful artist, and you probably recognize her if you're from the local area where I live. I want to give you a quick quote. She doesn't know that I'm doing this, but I'm going to read you something really quickly that she gave me that inspired me to do this for you. It says, "When I see things that are precious or beautiful, I breathe into those feelings. And even when sad emotions come up, recognizing that we all go through these feelings, and that's a part of our humanity, to empathize with one another during joyful and hard times." That quote is from my friend, and you'll find her Etsy store in the description below, a link to it, and a promo code. I'm going to be featuring artists as often as I can. This month I got really fortunate to feature a Pisces artist who I have known forever. So I'm really excited to do that. Please check out her store because she gave me so much inspiration for putting this whole thing together. Now this is your final messages. This is going to be advice. I told you we would get back to this red side here. And what it says is, have faith in your vision with the trust of a child. Have faith in your vision with the trust of a child. Do not worry about what's new and different about fun, romance, and making art. Look at that. Fun, romance, and making art. Fun, romance, and making art. Creativity. Where I know we have cards about that somewhere. I'm starting to lose track. As we're finishing up, tying it all together, some things are covered up, so I'm like, which I don't even know where I read some of it, but this is about embracing your inner child. We're talking about fun, being creativity, the trust of a child. You can't make this up. You saw these come out. You watched the dice roll out. You've seen me shuffle these cards, so you know that these synchronicities are real, and I hope that you come back when you're looking to reconnect with that magic inside yourself, because that is why I'm here. So your very, very last messages. Now is the time to use an unconventional way and do it dramatically. Prepare yourself. Aries season is next, and if you are an Aries, I will have a special birthday video set up for you. Get yourself ready in this Pisces season so you can be ready to do it dramatically when the spring solstice hits. I can't wait to share with you the cool stuff we have coming up next month. Thank you for being here and sharing in this energy. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends. Do not forget to like it. Let me know if this resonated and what you thought about the whole thing. What did this mean to you, and what area of your life, is this going to affect the most? And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for being here.